Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, back to do another Mill Creek Blu-ray review. This is going to be on their VHS retro series of Hardbodies. Now, Hardbodies is a 1984 film which runs approximately 88 minutes and is directed by Mark Griffiths, who of course directed Hardbodies 2, which I've yet to see, Beethoven's Fifth, which is, I do believe is about the St. Bernard. I think I've seen Part 1 and Part 2, and he did a ton of TV movies. Now I'm going to give you a brief synopsis first, because this movie is basically a horror fan's dream, and I'll explain that in a minute. But it's about a group of two guys who are surfers, who basically comb the beaches for girls, and when three middle-aged men take a vacation and move into a very nice beach house, they run a scam to help them get girls. And that's basically the plot in a nutshell. There's not really much to it. Now, the reason why I say this is a horror lover's dream is because it stars Kramer as Scotty. Now, Kramer, of course, his very first movie was New Year's Evil. He was also in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, if I saw it correctly, when I looked him up on the IMDb, it said that they were filming the return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 3D. So I'm really hoping that's going to be an upcoming sequel. If anybody knows any information about that, definitely let me know. This also stars Courtney Gaines as Rag. His very first movie was Children of the Corn. He, of course, was also in Back to the Future, The Burbs, The Quiet Ones, The Funhouse Massacre, and Hell's Kitty. But everybody pretty much knows him as Malachi from Children of the Corn. This also stars Darcy DeMoss as Dee Dee. She has a bit part. Now, basically what you're going to recognize her from is Friday the 13th Part 6. She plays Nikki in the famous scene in the camper. It also has Kathleen Kinmont playing the Pretty Skater, but you'll recognize her from Halloween 4 definitely. She played the sheriff's daughter, and she was also in Bride of Reanimator. So a lot of horror icons in this. But probably the most noticeable one is Kane Hodder. He actually plays the older geek. And if you really slow the movie down, you'll definitely be able to tell it's him. He's kind of the one in the back with the mustache and the curly hair. And it's pretty funny to see him in this type of movie. But this also stars Teal Roberts as Christy, who was in Beverly Hills Cop 2 and The Last Boy Scout. This is a really good movie. This is one from my childhood that I really enjoyed. It's basically a teen sex comedy, but it's got heart and it's kind of funny in spots. The one thing I am going to say about this, though, is that the transfer is not that good. I'm going to go over the presentation real quick. The slipcover is done extremely well, of course, just like the rest of the retro series. Here's the Blu-ray. Here's the back of it. Here's the inside artwork for the disc. Yeah, this is a really good movie. Unfortunately, like I said, the transfer is not that great on it. There's definitely some grain and some spotting in the beginning, and some of the colors are washed out in some of the parts towards the first 20 minutes of it. I'm not sure if it was a bad print or I'm not really sure what the deal was. It's still worth picking up. This is really reasonable. Most of the Blu-rays are. This is $7.50 at most Walmarts, and they are still available. So definitely, if you like this movie, it's not a terrible transfer. It's just not what I've come to expect from Mill Creek. After seeing Silent Rage and Happy Birthday to Me and Who's Harry Crumb, the transfer is just so-so on this one. So definitely keep that in mind. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time.